Welcome to Rock Your Fashion. Picture this. That moment in front of your wardrobe in the morning. You open the door and in the next 30 seconds, something happens. A feeling, a thought, maybe a quiet sigh. And once you start paying attention to that moment, you begin to realize something. There are different stages we all move through when it comes to getting dressed. 7 of them, in fact. And today we're going through all of them. You're going to recognize yourself, probably very quickly. And here's the part I really want you to hold on to. Wherever you are right now, it's not permanent. It's just a level, and levels go up. Let's start at the beginning. Level 1, the invisible woman. Level 1 is the hardest one to talk about. So let's just talk about it. The Level 1 woman has quietly stopped. Not dramatically. Not all at once. It happened gradually over years, and she might not have even noticed it happening. She opens her wardrobe and reaches for the same things every single day. Dark colours, shapeless layers, nothing that draws attention, nothing that says, "Look at me," because somewhere along the way she decided that asking to be looked at was too much, too vain, too something. And a lot of the time, she'll tell you she just doesn't care about clothes anymore, that it's superficial, that she has more important things to think about. But here's what I've noticed, and I say this with so much care. It's rarely that she stopped caring about how she looks. It's that she stopped believing it was worth caring. For her. At this age. At this size. At this point in her life. And that belief, that quiet, insidious belief, is the thing that's keeping her at level 1. Not her wardrobe. Not her budget. Not her body. The story she's telling herself about whether she deserves to take up visual space in the world. And I want to say something directly to any woman watching this who recognizes herself here. You did not become less visible because you got older. You became less visible because the world kept telling you to shrink and eventually you listened. You don't have to keep listening. That's what the rest of these levels are about. Level 2, the safe player. Okay. Level 2. She is trying. She genuinely is. She's not checked out like level 1. She cares. She shops. She thinks about what she wears. But she plays it so safe that nothing she puts on ever really excites her. You know this wardrobe. Navy, grey, black. The occasional burgundy when she's feeling adventurous. Straight leg jeans that are perfectly nice. Tops that go with everything, which also means they go with nothing in particular. A blazer she bought because it was classic. A cardigan that lives on her shoulders just in case. She looks appropriate, neat, perfectly presentable. She looks fine. And that's exactly the problem. Here's the thing about fine, though. Fine doesn't make you feel anything. Fine doesn't make you walk differently. Fine doesn't make someone across the room think, "Who is that woman?" And I think, deep down, the level 2 woman knows this. There's a low-level dissatisfaction she carries around, a sense that her clothes work, technically, but they don't work for her. Not really. The reason most women get stuck at level 2 isn't lack of taste. It's fear of getting it wrong. She'd rather feel nothing than feel embarrassed. Rather blend in than stand out and have someone think she's trying too hard. So the safe choices pile up. Season after season. And the wardrobe gets bigger and somehow emptier at the same time. Does that sound familiar? Level 3. The trend chaser. Right. Level 3. And I say this with love because I think a lot of us have lived here at some point. The level 3 woman is engaged, she's on Instagram, she's watching the shows, she knows what's happening on the high street right now. She gets excited about fashion. She talks about it. She shops regularly. The problem isn't her enthusiasm. The problem is where she's looking for direction. She's looking outward. Constantly outward. What are other people wearing? What's trending? What are the influencers doing? What did she see in that magazine? And so she ends up with a wardrobe full of things that were genuinely fashionable. On someone else. In a different context. For a different life. The wide-leg trousers that looked incredible on a 28-year-old with no hips and 6 feet of height, and feel a bit overwhelming on her 5 feet 4 inches frame. The oversized blazer that looked effortlessly cool in the campaign, and just looks like she borrowed it from someone larger. The micro-trend she fully committed to for one season and now can't look at. She doesn't look bad, she just looks like she's trying, like she's working hard at it. And stylish women never look like they're working hard at it, even when they are. Here's the reframe for level 3. Trends are not the enemy. I love a good trend. But they're ingredients, not a recipe. You have to know yourself well enough to know which trends belong in your wardrobe and which ones you admire from a safe distance. And that knowledge? That's what we build in the next levels. Most women get stuck somewhere in the first 3 levels. What separates them from the women who don't? This next one. Level 4, the awakening. Okay, this is my favorite level to talk about because this is where it starts. Something happened. Maybe it was one outfit. One morning where everything came together and she stood in front of the mirror and thought, yes, that's it. That's me. And then spent the rest of the day trying to figure out what made it work. Maybe it was a compliment, a specific one. Not you look nice, but that colour does something for you, or I love how you've put that together. The kind of compliment that made her stop and actually think. Maybe it was a photo. She was tagged in something she wasn't expecting to see, and instead of her usual cringe, she actually liked it. And then she looked at it for a long time, trying to understand why. Or maybe it was a video she found at 11 p.m. when she couldn't sleep. Yes, I know. Hello. Whatever it was, something cracked open. She started paying a different kind of attention, not to trends, not to what she should be wearing, but to herself, to what actually works on her body, her colouring, her life, to the things she keeps reaching for versus the things she keeps avoiding, to the gap between the two. She's not fully there yet. The wardrobe is still a bit of a mixed bag. She still has wobbles. She still second-guesses herself, but she is awake. And I cannot tell you how much that matters, because the women who make it to level 7, they all pass through level 4 first. Every single one. If this is where you are so much closer than you think. Before we get into the top levels, if you're getting value from this, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Rock Your Fashion. Okay, top levels, here we go. Level 5, the Formula Woman. Level 5 is genuinely impressive. I want to say that first, because getting to level 5 takes real self-knowledge. This woman has done the work. She's figured out what suits her colours, her silhouettes, the fabrics that feel good on her body. She has a formula and it works. Consistently. She always looks good. Her friends come to her for advice. She doesn't stress about getting dressed in the morning because she knows exactly what she's doing. And yet, there's something just a little static about it. She gravitates to the same shapes, season after season. She buys the same things in different colours. She knows what works so well that she's stopped being curious about what else might work. She's built a beautiful box, and she lives very comfortably inside it. The risk at level 5 is that the formula, which was once a tool, becomes a uniform. And here's the subtle difference between a level 5 woman and a level 7 woman. The level 7 woman also has deep style knowledge, but she uses it as a foundation to build from, not a boundary to stay within. The level 5 woman often knows exactly what I mean when I say this. She just hasn't quite found the confidence to step out of the formula yet. And that confidence? That's level 6. Level 6. The confident experimenter. She knows who she is stylistically. She really does. She's done the work, she has her foundations, but she holds them lightly. She'll try something new and not know if it works and try it anyway. She'll mix a vintage find with something brand new and not overthink whether it goes. She'll wear a colour she's never worn before because something about it caught her eye and she thought, why not? She gets it wrong sometimes. She absolutely does. She'll put something on, look in the mirror, pull it off immediately, and move on without a second thought. That's the key thing about level 6. She's not attached to the outcome. She's not dressing to avoid mistakes. She's dressing to express something. And expression by nature involves a bit of risk. This is the woman who finds a silk scarf in a charity shop and somehow makes it look like it was made for her. Who wears trainers with a blazer and a beautiful pair of trousers and looks cooler than anyone in heels. Who takes a trend that everyone said was for younger women and makes it entirely her own. Style at level 6 is fun again. It's playful, it's creative. And that energy, that lightness, is actually visible. People feel it. That's why level 6 women get so many compliments. Not just on specific pieces, but on their whole vibe. One step left. Level 7. The woman who owns the room. She walks in. She's not the best-dressed woman in the room. She's the most certain woman in the room. And something shifts. It's hard to explain if you haven't felt it, but you know it when you see it. There's a woman across the room. Maybe she's not wearing anything extraordinary. Maybe she is. But something about her makes you look, and then look again. What is it? It's not the clothes. Well, it's partly the clothes, but it's something underneath the clothes. It's alignment. The complete alignment between who she is on the inside and what you see on the outside. There's no gap between them. No performance. No trying. No apologizing. She has long since stopped dressing for anyone else's approval. She stopped following trends years ago. Not because she's against them, but because she simply knows herself too well to be pulled off course by them. She buys things because she loves them, full stop. Not because they're on sale, not because they're safe, not because someone else said they were stylish. She has what I think of as quiet authority. And here's what I really want you to understand about level 7. It is not reserved for women with perfect bodies, or limitless budgets, or natural style instincts they were born with. Level 7 is available to every single woman watching this video, because it is not about how you look. It is entirely about the relationship you have with yourself. The woman at level 7 is not more beautiful than the woman at level 1. She just stopped pretending she didn't deserve to take up space. So, now that you've seen all 7 levels, which level are you right now? And which level do you feel ready to move into next? Be honest with yourself. Not harsh. Just honest. Because wherever you are is fine. Genuinely. It's just information. It's just a starting point. And the thing about starting points is you never stay there forever. Not if you don't want to. I've watched women move through multiple levels in the space of a year. Sometimes faster, sometimes it takes longer. But the women who move, they do one thing consistently. They stay curious about themselves, and that changes everything. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to Rock Your Fashion. It really helps the channel grow. Until next time, stay confident, stay chic, and remember, elegance has no age limit.